Hello and welcome. Today we embark on a journey not to the vibrant, living ecosystems we know, but back in time, to a world ruled by giants and monsters of an almost unimaginable scale. We will be counting down the top 10 ancient creatures that, were they to reappear today, would challenge our very existence and redefine the meaning of fear. These are the titans of prehistory, the apex predators of forgotten eras, whose fossilized remains whisper tales of a planet far more dangerous and perhaps far more magnificent than our own. The creatures we are about to witness are specters from deep time, phantoms of evolution's grand and sometimes terrifying experiments. From the crushing depths of primordial oceans to the vast open skies of the Cretaceous period, these animals were masters of their domains. They possessed adaptations that made them formidable hunters and survivors in a world of constant peril. Their size, their power, and their sheer predatory efficiency are things of legend, and as we explore their lives, we will come to appreciate the raw, untamed forces that shaped life on Earth millions of years ago. But this is not a journey of nostalgia. It is a stark reminder of nature's capacity for creating truly awe-inspiring and frankly horrifying life forms. As we delve into this list, you will find yourself marveling at their grandeur, but you will also, I suspect, feel a profound sense of relief. These are the creatures we are unequivocally glad are extinct. So let us begin our countdown of the ancient beasts that should, for the sake of all of us, remain lost to time. Our journey begins in the vast blue expanse of the prehistoric oceans, home to a predator that makes our modern great white shark seem almost placid by comparison. This was the domain of Ototus megalodon. Reaching lengths of up to 60 feet or even more, this was not merely a shark, it was a living submarine of muscle and teeth. Its jaws, wide enough to swallow two adult humans side by side, were lined with hundreds of serrated teeth, each the size of a human hand. The sheer scale of this creature is difficult to comprehend. It was an engine of predation on an industrial scale, a true leviathan. Imagine this behemoth patrolling our modern coastlines. Shipping lanes would become hunting grounds, and popular beaches would be scenes of unimaginable terror. Its bite force could crush a small boat as easily as we might crack a nut, and its primary prey were the ancestors of today's great whales. The megalodon was an apex predator so dominant, so perfectly adapted to its role, that its presence would fundamentally alter the marine ecosystem as we know it. Its extinction, some 3.5 million years ago, was a pivotal moment, allowing whales to grow to the sizes we see today and paving the way for a very different, and for us, a much safer ocean. We now travel from the depths of the ocean to the humid, sweltering rainforests of the Paleocene epoch, about 60 million years ago. Here, slithering through the damp undergrowth, lived the largest snake the world has ever known, Titanoboa. This was not a creature of subtle menace, it was a monster of pure constricting power. Reaching lengths of over 40 feet and weighing more than a ton, it was as thick as a man's torso. It moved through its jungle home not just as a predator, but as a reshaping force of nature, a true serpent king. Titanoboa was a constrictor, but on a scale that defies belief. It could have easily swallowed a modern cow or indeed a human being, without the slightest difficulty. Its hunting strategy was one of ambush and overwhelming force. Lying in wait in the murky waters of ancient rivers, it would strike with incredible speed, its massive body coiling around its prey, giant crocodiles and turtles, crushing the life out of them with a pressure of 400 pounds per square inch. The thought of such a creature existing today, lurking in the Amazon or the Congo, is the very essence of a primal nightmare. Our next creature takes us to the river systems of North Africa during the Cretaceous period. Here we encounter a predator that challenges our very image of what a dinosaur could be. This is Spinosaurus, a creature arguably more terrifying than the famed Tyrannosaurus rex. It was a semi-aquatic hunter, perfectly adapted for life both in water and on land. With a long crocodile-like snout filled with conical teeth, it was built for snatching slippery prey. Its most distinguishing feature, a magnificent and intimidating sail of skins supported by long spines on its back, may have been for display or perhaps for regulating its temperature. What made Spinosaurus a uniquely terrifying predator was its versatility. It was a master of two worlds. On land, it was a formidable carnivore, but in the water, it was a true monster. Its paddle-like tail, a recent and revolutionary discovery, propelled it through the water with lethal grace, allowing it to hunt giant fish, sawfish, and even other dinosaurs that strayed too close to the water's edge. It was the largest carnivorous dinosaur ever known, a 50-foot-long river demon. A creature with the size of a T-Rex and the aquatic prowess of a crocodile is a combination we should be very thankful is confined to the fossil record. Now we venture back further to the Carboniferous period around 300 million years ago, a time when oxygen levels were far higher than today, allowing insects and arthropods to grow to, honestly, horrifying sizes. In the vast, swampy coal forests of this era crawled a true titan of the undergrowth, Arthropleura. Imagine a millipede, but not the harmless creature of your garden. Imagine one that grew to be over 8 feet long and nearly 2 feet wide, the largest land invertebrate of all time. Its armored, segmented body would have rustled through the giant ferns and club mosses, a relentless, crawling tank. While it was once thought to be a fearsome predator, most evidence now suggests Arthropleura was a herbivore, feeding on the decaying plant matter of the forest floor. But its sheer size and armored carapace would have made it a formidable sight, and it would have had few, if any, predators. The thought of such a colossal, many-legged creature crawling through our modern forests is, well, deeply unsettling. Its fossilized trackways, sometimes feet wide, are a chilling testament to the scale of this arthropod giant, a creature born from a world with a fundamentally different atmosphere and a different set of rules for life. We return once more to the treacherous waters of the late Cretaceous period, an ocean patrolled by a dynasty of supreme predators. These were the mosasaurs, and at the top of this fearsome lineage was the Mosasaurus itself. These were not dinosaurs, but immense marine reptiles, air-breathing cousins of modern lizards and snakes that had returned to the sea and evolved into perfect killing machines. Growing up to 55 feet long, Mosasaurus had a second set of teeth on its palate, the better to grip struggling prey and ensure there was no escape from its cavernous mouth. The Mosasaurus was the undisputed ruler of its marine realm. It feared nothing. Its diet was varied and opportunistic, including anything it could catch: giant fish, sea turtles, ammonites, and even other large marine reptiles. It was a creature of immense power, with a robust skull and a body propelled by a massive shark-like tail fin. Its global distribution meant it dominated every ocean on the planet. To swim in the Cretaceous seas was to be constantly under the threat of this colossal sea dragon, an apex predator whose reign only ended with the same asteroid impact that wiped out the dinosaurs. From the depths, we now soar into the skies of the late Cretaceous to witness the largest flying animal that has ever existed, Quetzalcoatlus. This was not a bird nor a dinosaur, but a pterosaur of staggering proportions, with a wingspan of 36 feet, which is about the same as a small modern jet aircraft. Its presence would have blotted out the sun. When it stood on the ground, it was as tall as a giraffe, its long, stiff neck holding a massive, toothless beak, sharp as a spear. The sight of such a creature taking flight would have been both magnificent and, honestly, utterly terrifying. For years, scientists debated how such a colossal creature could even hunt. It was once imagined as a scavenger, or a skimmer of seas, but we now believe Quetzalcoatlus was a terrestrial stalker. Like a giant nightmarish stork, it would stride across the prehistoric plains on its folded wings, seeking out its prey from above. When it spotted a victim, perhaps a small dinosaur, it would snatch it up with its enormous pointed beak and swallow it whole. The idea of a giraffe-sized predator that could fly is a terrifying concept, a creature that could hunt from the air and the ground with equal lethality. We plunge back into the ancient oceans, but this time, much further back, to the Devonian period, the age of fishes, some 380 million years ago. The seas then were ruled not by sharks, but by a group of armored fish called placoderms, and the king of them all was Dunkleosteus. This was a fish that looked like it was forged in a nightmare. It grew to nearly 30 feet long and was covered in thick, bony plates of armor, particularly around its head, making it a living battering ram. It had no teeth in the way we think of them. Instead, Dunkleosteus possessed 2 pairs of sharp bony plates that formed a self-sharpening guillotine-like beak. The power of its bite was extraordinary, honestly one of the most powerful of any animal, living or extinct. It could snap a prehistoric shark in half with ease. This creature was the apex predator of its time, a heavily armored brute that could crush and shear through almost anything in its path. Its fossilized skulls, with those terrifying bony blades, are a stark testament to a time when the oceans were a far more brutal and unforgiving place. Our countdown now takes us to the rivers and swamps of early Cretaceous Africa, home to a reptile that makes even the largest modern crocodiles look like lizards. This was Sarcosuchus imperator, the flesh crocodile emperor, or as it is more commonly known, the super croc. This colossal crocodilian reached lengths of up to 40 feet, which is, wow, about twice the length of the largest saltwater crocodiles today, and weighed an estimated 8 to 10 tons. Its skull alone was nearly 6 feet long, lined with over 100 stout teeth designed not just for piercing, but for crushing bone. Sarcosuchus was an ambush predator of immense patience and explosive power. It would have lurked in the great river systems of its day, its eyes and nostrils just breaking the surface. Its prey was not fish or small mammals, but the dinosaurs that came to the river's edge to drink. With a lunge of incredible force, it would drag these massive animals into the water, using its immense size and strength to overpower them in a terrifying death roll. A crocodile of this magnitude would make every river and lake on Earth a no-go zone, a lurking giant from a bygone age of reptilian dominance. For our penultimate creature, we return to the water but not the ocean. We go to the freshwater rivers and swamps of the Devonian period to find a creature that embodies a very different kind of horror. This is Megalodon, a eurypterid or sea scorpion. But this was no ordinary scorpion. It was the largest arthropod ever to have lived, an 8-foot-long aquatic nightmare. It propelled itself through the murky water with paddle-like appendages, its segmented body ending in a sharp spine, or telson. But its most terrifying feature was at the front. Megalodon possessed 2 enormous spiny claws or coliceri, which it would have used to snatch and shred its prey, primarily the armored fish of the period. It was the top predator of its freshwater environment, a giant armored invertebrate with the weapons and aggression to dominate its world. The thought of an 8-foot scorpion, even an aquatic one, is the stuff of pure phobia. Its existence reminds us that for much of Earth's history, the invertebrates were not the small, scurrying things we know today, but were sometimes the titans of their age. We have arrived at the #1 spot on our list. This creature is perhaps not the largest, but it is one of the most fearsome and enigmatic predators of all time. We travel to the Eocene epoch about 45 million years ago in what is now Inner Mongolia. Here lived Andrewsarchus. Known only from a single 3-foot-long skull, it was for a long time a mystery. But what a skull it is. It suggests a terrestrial mammal of immense size and power, the largest carnivorous land mammal that ever lived. It was a predator that likely weighed over a ton. Imagine a creature with the body of a giant bear-like beast, but with a head shaped like that of a gigantic wolf, armed with incredibly powerful jaws that could crush bone. Recent studies suggest it may be more closely related to hippos and whales, an ancient hoofed predator. This only adds to its strangeness. It likely prowled the coastlines, scavenging on carcasses and hunting large prey, perhaps even the brontotheres, ancient rhino-like mammals of the time. Andrewsarchus represents a terrifying combination of size, power, and predatory instinct that has no modern equivalent, a true mammalian monster we are very, very fortunate to have never met. And so, our journey through this gallery of prehistoric terror comes to an end. From the colossal shark of the Miocene to the giant wolf-like mammal of the Eocene, we have witnessed creatures that push the boundaries of what we thought possible for life on this planet. They were magnificent, they were powerful, and they were masters of a world that was, in so many ways, more savage than our own. Their fossils are a window into deep time, a humbling reminder of the cycles of life and extinction that have shaped our world over eons. As we return to the relative safety of the modern day, let us take a moment to be grateful. Grateful that our oceans are not patrolled by Megalodon, that our forests are free from 8-foot-long millipedes, and that the skies above are not shadowed by giraffe-sized flying reptiles. The extinction of these incredible animals, while a loss of natural wonder, was a necessary prelude to the world we inhabit. It allowed for the rise of the familiar fauna we know and love, and ultimately for the evolution of humankind in a world we could actually survive. The story of life on Earth is a truly epic tale, filled with wonders and horrors in equal measure. If you have been as captivated by these incredible beasts as I have, please show your support by leaving a like on this video, and I would love to read your thoughts in the comments below. Which of these creatures do you find the most terrifying? Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, so you don't miss our next exploration into the amazing history of our planet. Thank you for joining me.